Delusional, lack of game planning, and excuse making. Let's talk about the ego of Morne Visser, who I think is one of the worst coaches of all time. And I really feel as if this guy set up Dricus Du Plessis for failure against Khamzat Chimaev. And now he's refusing to take responsibility for it, which is what's getting me mad more than anything. Shout out MMA Joey. He brought my attention to this submission radio interview that we're going to talk about. We're going to go through a little bit in this video. Guys, I really want to preface some stuff and point to some hypocritical things that this dude Morne Visser is really doing. And it's frustrating for many reasons. But before I even get to why he looks stupid making the excuses he's looking like he's making after this fight, let's talk about how he reacted after the Ankalaev fight with Pereira. Now, if you guys were living under a rock, I'll tell you guys, Ankalaev Pereira and this Khamzat DDP is one of the most satisfying times going on Twitter, because you see the other fan bases coping. I did. Dude, fuck that. Dude, the opposite side's always like, dude, he's boring. He just did this the whole time. This guy did nothing, blah, blah, blah. And first of all, I don't think either fights are boring, but that's just my opinion. I don't really care about your opinion, how you feel about grappling, whatever. That's your take. I'm not going to judge you off that. But let's see what Morne Visser specifically thought about that fight with Magomed Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. And keep in mind what other people were saying when this fight happened. Oh, Pereira's so boring. Pereira's so this. Not Pereira. Ankalaev's so boring. This, that, and the third. Let's see what Morne Visser had to say about it, because I'm sure you're going to agree with people and say it was boring, right? Because it was boring. Like, good game planning that means boring fights sometimes. Let's see what Visser says. Go ahead.
And look how bad he looked in his last fight. I mean, it didn't go his way. Ankalaev just outplayed him. I speak to a lot of people, they say it was a boring fight. I say it was a brilliant fight. The game plan of Ankalaev and his team were just absolutely superb.
Whoa, okay. No, never. I thought he was going to come here and hate, but turns out he says people call it boring. I don't think it's boring. I favor good game planning. I think good strategy is the best thing. I like the way you think. Surely in the future, if your guy happened to fight Khamzat and Khamzat's team came with a good game plan and executed, you probably wouldn't call the fight boring. And, yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm tripping. Man, let me just keep hearing him talk. I want to see what else he has to say about the situation.
In the way they handled it, and stick to the game plan, never rush anything. And that's the only thing that Pereira does. He waits for you to make a mistake, or he waits for you to get in or come in, and then he hooks you. What else can he do? And that stupid low of his. What else can he do?
Okay, he's being very critical of Alex Pereira, saying Alex Pereira is just one-dimensional. All you could do is throw a low kick and throw a left hook and bait you in. That's all you could do. So, okay. You're making fun of Pereira for only being good at certain things, and other than that, he's ass. All right, carry on. Carry on, Visser.
He's shit in the clinch. He's shit on the floor. He's shit in grappling. And we saw him getting out. Ankalaev did a pretty good job of outboxing him, kickboxing him.
Yeah.
So, well done to Ankalaev. The hate comes from jealousy. That's all it is.
I want to hear him real quick say what Pereira shit. I kept saying he heard him say Pereira shit at something. I want to run it back. What's he shit at exactly?
And that stupid low of his. What else can he do?
Okay.
He's shit in the clinch. He's shit on the floor. He's shit in grappling.
Oh. Shit in the clinch, shit on the floor, shit in grappling. I'm sure, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you coach Dricus Du Plessis. That guy's a dog. He's a great grappler. He's great on his back, great on the ground. Oh, this guy, man, this Visser dude, hey, Shiba. It's like you listen to him talk and you're like, all right, this guy, he's making sense. Cool. I actually don't mind his take on this fight. Like, he's right. Ankalaev fight wasn't boring. I don't think good game planning equates to boring. I think it's Pereira's fault for that fight being boring because he didn't do anything. He didn't press it. He didn't get out positions. That's Pereira's fault. I agree with you here, Visser. Seems like we're going to be good buddies. This video seems like me and Visser are going to be buddy. We're going to agree with everything he says. So let's carry on. I want to see what he had in mind for Dricus Du Plessis in this fight, because of course he game planned for it. This one has some UFC content. I can't really show it I can't show it. So we're gonna play the sound game. You guys are just gonna listen to what you hear, and you're not really gonna see much. So we're gonna play a game called Listen with Your Ears and listen to how confident this coach sounds about Dricus going into this fight.
I know what it is when people want to wrestle him. He's only facing guys who's trying to get away from his wrestling.
Oh, okay. He's only facing guys who are trying to get away with his wrestling. I'm sure GDP is not going to try to do that. I'm sure DDP is going to try to get in there and wrestle. Let's see. Let's carry on, Visser.
We don't want to try to get away from his wrestling. We want to him up in his game.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Damn, man, hold on. Okay, he wants to. Okay, he's gonna go in there and fuck up Khamzat in his own game wrestling. Oh man, wait, this Visser guy, man, he might be onto something. I think he has a point. Why do people run from Khamzat wrestling? You should go in there and try to yo, carry on, Visser. You're cooking right now.
You can't think that you're gonna beat my guy coming with one thing, and that's wrestling.
I love you can't think you could beat my guy. Come on, I love it every time I hear it. No, he's right. I think he's right here. I just don't feel. This is what Whitaker said as well before the Khamzat fight. I just feel as if you can't beat my guy with only grappling. He's right. I don't think Dricus would lose to Khamzat. Wait, why am I? I do think he would lose to Khamzat with only grappling, but I'm okay with his opinion. As a coach, you should have an opinion, but not a delusional opinion. I think this opinion is delusional shit, and I feel like now everyone understands it's delusional. But when I was saying it was delusional at the time, people were like, "Nah, Dad, it's not delusional." Cool. That's his opinion. I'm gonna leave it at that. And this is a cherry on top. His closing statements in his interview. What did he say?
He doesn't present any problem for us. We are the problem.
He doesn't present any problem for us. We are the problem. Okay. Well, now that we all just heard that, guys, let's get to the submission radio video. This is what I love. Like, as you guys can see, before the fight, he had his opinion on the grappling, what his game plan would be to do the grappling. He's not trying to get away from the grappling. He's trying to advance. He's trying to show that he's that guy in the grappling. And cool, man. Sure. I think everything you said was true. But as we saw what happened in the fight, it was a little bit different than what he's saying. It was kind of what I was saying, that Khamzat's a way better grappler, that Dricus can't wrestle. Dricus wrestling is very overrated. And he got destroyed and mauled. And I just the reason I played the Ankalaev Pereira analysis by the coach for the video, he was praising Ankalaev for having a good game plan and didn't really care what other people said. It wasn't a boring fight. That came from jealousy. That's what his coach said verbatim. So I don't want to make him sound like a hypocrite. He's making himself look like what he wants to look like, So I played that for a reason. Now let's see how he goes about this this whole situation in this interview. We'll talk about it a little. I can't wait to hear this.
All right, guys, we are on the heels of UFC 319, and I appreciate this next man for joining me during, a time that, isn't the highest of highs, but the way that him and his team have handled this loss at UFC 319 is admirable. He now joins me, Coach Morne.
I don't know why I think it's funny saying the way him and his team has handled the loss have been admirable. But, I guess we're taking the interview, but let's go ahead.
Thanks for joining me a day after UFC 319, man. I'd ask how you're doing, but obviously, mood's not as high as it was going to be, as it was planned to be.
Yeah, obviously it's hard to take like a big loss like this on the jaw. But lessons learned. I think we could have done a lot better, but I also think the ref should have done better. But you know what it's like when you lose.
You know why that specifically made me want to hit my monitor in front of me? He just said his opening statements after this fight was, I feel like the ref could have done a lot better. I feel like the ref could have helped us get out the situations. I feel like I didn't prepare my fighter enough to get it up and scramble out of controlling positions, so I feel like the ref should have bailed me out. I feel as if Mark Goddard helped me out a little bit more and helped my fighter get to his feet, the fight could have been more competitive. I feel as if I had Mark Goddard in the camp with us and he was practicing how to, okay, guys, stand up when I was getting controlled, I feel like my fighter would have had a better chance. How dare you say that from your lips? That deserves a backhand in his own. Don't ever in your life come on after a loss and say the ref could have done more to help my fighter get off the ground because I didn't do a good job getting my fighter prepared for Khamzat Chimaev, because instead of getting him prepared, what I decided to do was negate his wrestling. Say, oh, his wrestling's not all that good. We're gonna take the wrestling to him. And now you're switching up that whole flow like, nah, his wrestling's too good. Now we need the ref's help. How dare you say that? Are you okay? Are you stupid? Your ego was your biggest demise going into this because you had a stupid, inflated ego thinking you think your guy was that guy. And he goes in there and gets steamrolled by the real guy. And now you're saying the ref should have helped me out a little bit more. Shame on you, you imbecile, idiotic fool.
Or something doesn't go your way, you always want to blame somebody else. But I do think the refs should have just made that fight a lot more live, or a little bit more live.
What do you mean by the refs? Sorry, go on, Morne. Do you mean that you wanted to see things to be stood up more? Break that down for me.
So I don't.
Good question. I bet he's gonna backtrack. Nah, maybe not stand up a little bit more, but maybe just help us out with the. Like, while keep in mind, Dricus was putting his toes in the fence. He was grabbing the fence. He was doing that, but Mark Gardner's like, nah, you could do that, but just make sure, Khamzat, make sure you're just hitting him at more than 1,000 times per second and transitioning more than you already are. Because I don't even want to get into this because I'm getting mad. But let's see the coach.
If you, there was a stats afterwards of Khamzat landing like 570 shots or 550 shots.
Yeah.
And only 37 of them were significant. So he just did enough to, he obviously controlled positions very, very well. And he just did enough to keep the ref not letting the fight stand up. But I think when shit goes that slow for 20 seconds, first warning, second warning, 5 seconds later, third, 5 seconds later, stand the fight up, man.
Okay. This is unbelievable to me. This is actually blowing me what he's saying about the situation. He's literally saying that, yeah, he was landing shots on my guy, but my thing is the shots aren't significant enough, and like the ref's giving him a warning every single time. The ref did give Khamzat a warning. Khamzat, stay active. Even though Khamzat was already throwing, he'd be like, Khamzat, stay active, or Khamzat, advance positions. Every single time, verbatim, watch the fight back, Khamzat would advance positions and then start throwing from that position. He'll be in half guard, hitting him. Then you go to side control, hitting him. Advanced positions, he crucifixes him, starts whipping him. What's DDP doing? Just throwing his toes in the fence and sticking that shit in, trying to get out because he's panicking. How dare this coach, who didn't properly prepare his fighter to get out situations like that, is starting to look at the ref and pleading with the ref. And Mark Gardner did oblige because he's an idiot. But this guy is disgusting. This is something as a fighter you would never want your coach to say. Imagine you're Dricus Du Plessis right now, and you're looking at your coach saying things along the lines of, I wish the ref helped my fighter get up because my fighter wasn't able to do it himself because I didn't train him properly. This is disgusting. I see people like Dricus right now. I seen him like out and about, like drinking alcohol. He looked miserable. His face was lumped up, so I guess those shots are doing something, even though he had glasses on. But he was literally just chugging beer, looking absolutely miserable. And now you have this miserable-looking coach getting on an interview saying my fighter pretty much sucks, and we need the ref to help us out here. This is embarrassing.
So that fight was smothered with boringness, and yeah.
Now it's boring. But I remember Ankle Ferreira, you were saying good game plan does not equate to boring. It's just jealousy from the other people who lost on the losing side. Now you're kind of switching your script. So you're a hypocrite and you're ugly and you don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, we are guilty for making it boring as well.
Accountability, eh?
If I just needed an extra minute at the end there. But yeah, I think the fight was smothered by a lot of boringness. I don't think the crowd was happy. I remember when we walked in, the crowd was booing DDP, and like 3 minutes into the fight, they were all booing Khamzat for just
moral victories, right, guys? Listen, at the end of the day, dude, in the ceremonial weigh-ins and in the walkout, my fighter was getting booed, but guess what? We didn't get booed on the way out. But guess what? Khamzat got booed more than me as the fight elongated. Let's go, dude. Bro, what? He's got to be AI generated. This can't be a real interview. Someone tell me this shit's fake, please.
Holding Dricus down. But fuck, man, he does a good job with that. He's very good at his wrestling. So, yeah, hats off to him.
Don't discredit everything, then blame the ref for not standing up and say hats off to him, you fucking imbecile.
Yeah, it's tough as well, right? Because when you're in those dominating positions, I'm just not sure if you could really, I don't know if you could really be stood up. Let me ask you this. In between the rounds, after the first round and the second round, what were you guys thinking? Are there any adjustments that you were trying to make? Because we couldn't really hear what you were saying to Dricus in between the rounds.
He was saying a whole lot of nothing, but let's see what he says here.
So after the first round, the very first thing I asked Dricus was he okay? Wasn't tired. Obviously, with trying to fight somebody who wrestles that hard, your arms pump up quickly. He was 100% okay, and we actually laughed about it, me and him in the corner, because I said to him, "Okay, this is the best he's got. That he just showed us what he can do, and he's going to keep on trying to do that." And I just didn't think that he will try to do that for 5 rounds. So.
Oh my God, I'm about to get tight, you know. You know what? Okay, this is what he just said. Yeah, my advice after the first round, we laughed a little. We were like, all right, Dricus, he's not going to do that for the whole fight. What did you tell Dricus to do? What adjustment did you tell him to do? Did you tell him to get to a hip when he's on his back? Did you tell him to fight what'd you tell him to do other than laugh with him in the corner and said, all right, that's probably all you got. That's the first round. This is what happens when you have an egotistical coach who before the fight says he has one round in him and that's it. And then you could beat his ass because in reality, he didn't do his homework. He thought he had one round in him because he doesn't take his shit seriously. There's a reason like people like me, I know Bedtime and I even know MMA Joey, we understood that this guy has 5-round endurance. We knew this because we're not idiots. This coach did it because he didn't do his homework because his ego was too big. So that's why he had no sufficient advice for the guy after the first round. He's not telling him to get to a hip. He's not telling him to fight something. He's not saying nothing. Avoid the body lock or get an underhook. He's not saying anything around that nature because he just thought that, okay, that's all he got, so now just fight. He didn't give him any advice. And that's the problem. Look at his stupid smile. Look at his dumb little smile right there. Like he's getting me mad just looking at him right there because it just pissed me. I feel bad for Dricus, And I made a video about talking about how delusional this coach is before the fight even happened, and all the comments saying, "Nah, dude, Khamzat, he's right. Khamzat has no." And now they all feel stupid, don't they? I just can't be asked, man. This guy really gets me mad because I feel like Dricus Du Plessis needs to separate from this guy and get someone who could actually understand the threat. Because the whole build-up, you can see Dricus took Khamzat Chimaev more seriously, saying things like, I know he could take me down, but I'll get back up, stuff like that. While this guy was saying, he's not going to beat my guy in one thing in grappling. You like, fuck, dude, he gets me. I hate looking at his face, It gets me tight, man.
We were communicating between the rounds. I think after the third, I said to Dricus, okay, we are 3 down now. Do you want to take him down? And he said to me, Coach, he's too wet, too slippery.
You know how I know he's mentally a little bit, something's wrong with him? After round 3 of getting dominant in straight grappling, he said, all right, Dricus, you want to take him down? He's rage baiting. He's rage baiting. Like, this can't be real. You want him to shoot a takedown on Khamzat Chimaev going into the championship rounds after he's mauling you on the ground. That must have been what Leon Edwards' fucking coach said during the Sean Brady fight. All right, Leon, you want to shoot on him? Just shoots and gets him. Dude, that would just be like, all right, Khamzat, Darce choke me. Dricus saying that, like, nah, he was too sweaty is literally Dricus saying, Coach, I need to do something on the feet. I need to catch him. What are you talking about? How is Dricus Du Plessis champion with this guy? You know what I really think it is, guys? I don't think this coach is even a good coach. I just think Dricus Du Plessis is a dog of a fighter, and he's doing all this himself. I give this coach no credit for any success he had. I swear to you, this coach did nothing but half-ass train Dricus, and Dricus just used his heart and his mentality to get him all these wins because he's not very technically sound in a lot of departments of fighting, but he wins his way off his own will, not this stupid coach's will. This is the worst coach in UFC history, and I need people to understand this now. I can't believe how disgusting of an interview this is and how stupid this guy looks to me.
And look, we've learned a lot. Lot to go back to. I've been asked, do you want to do a rematch? I said, absolutely not.
Okay. At least he's not a fool, dumbass.
Obviously, we would like to fight him very soon again, but there's no way I'll take a rematch with us being a little bit behind in our Russian style of wrestling.
Little bit behind, eh? Shiba. Brother, 22 minutes of control time. Brother, maybe a little bit more than a little bit behind, maybe 4 or 5 years behind. You guys can't teach the wrestling of Khamzat in a year or even 2. Like, this guy you should never fight Khamzat again. I'm telling you, get the fluffy fight. I think he could be fluffy, but Khamzat is a different level, man.
That is what it is, nothing else. He just knows how to control you on the floor. I mean, if you look at when Dricus punched him, he just wobbled. When Dricus kicked him, he wobbled. That's why I went straight for shooting. And when you look at submission attempts and almost landed, was done by Dricus, not by Khamzat. Khamzat was doing one thing. that's
Nope.
keeping the fight on the floor.
Nope. And I hate this narrative of submission attempts because it is getting pushed by a lot of people because the UFC stats have 0 submission attempts by Khamzat. But I could count many times where he went for rear naked chokes, but Dricus fought it off well. I could count a time, like many times, that rear naked choke is a lot of times, And then that time at the end of the 3rd round, I believe, when he went for a Darce choke it was like the last 3 seconds of the round, he stands up, and then Khamzat has him locked in a Darce choke and lets go of it because the buzzer sounds. So stop saying Khamzat didn't go for chokes or didn't go for stuff. Just give your guy credit. Maybe give Dricus credit once this interview and say, listen, Dricus did a good job defending the chokes of Khamzat. Don't say Khamzat went for 0 chokes. You fucking Vegeta Widow's Peak ass hairline, dog.
And make sure that the ref doesn't stand it up. That's all he did. Nothing else. So we had more submission attempts and almost success.
It was judging stuff off of almost success now. Mama, this guy's not real.
Obviously, the stand-up, we dominated him. I don't even think there was 2 minutes of stand-up. But yeah, so we've got to go back to the drawing board soon. There's a lot of things happening in the middleweight division now. I believe Khamzat wants to fight in October in Abu Dhabi, and I think if the UFC pulls that off, it will most probably be Hernandez or Derrida.
Probably Derrida.
And if not, I think Hernandez and Derrida will fight it out, and Imamov and Baradia will fight it out. And between the 4 of them, there will be another number 1 contender. In the meantime, we've got to fix our shit ASAP. And I know what to do. I know exactly what to do.
I'm sure you do. You fucking idiot.
Where to do it. It's a big change for us, a big move. We're going to have to make a big move here to fix things. But, if we had an extra minute, that fight would have been ours. So.
All right, and I think that's where I'm going to end it before I start saying stuff I don't want to say. Okay, he's rage rating me. Don't fall for it, Kenny. Listen, I have nothing. Okay, let me just say this about this guy. What he just said there with the little, if he had an extra minute. Yeah, if I was living on Pluto, if the sun was black, I would have. Yo, are you stupid, man? Like, are you all right, dog? Like, I'm looking, like, I'm trying to, I wish I could speak to you face to face. Are you okay? If we had an extra minute in a 25-minute fight, which is a championship fight, we would have done something. But the 25 minutes prior, we couldn't do anything because we were getting our ass controlled. And the only reason we had an almost moment was because Goddard stood us up. Without him standing us up, he actually wouldn't be in that position anyway. But, yeah, if you had an extra minute, we wouldn't won. You can't cope like this, bro. You are the dumbest coach. You big blockhead, me fucking my guy spamming ugly ass South African coach with no IQ. You are the reason Dricus Du Plessis got flatlined as bad as he. I mean, it probably would have went down like that no matter what. But you, in your ego, is, I believe, Dricus Du Plessis' biggest downfall. You're the worst thing to happen to him. I swear to God, you could give him any other coach, you have the same success. Give him a good coach, he'll be damn near unbeatable. But you are the reason that Dricus Du Plessis is struggling the most in the UFC right now, and I want you to understand that. And I hope this video can somehow find you, and you can listen to what I'm saying, because you're the reason that Dricus Du Plessis was not prepared accordingly or to the best of his ability in that fight. And now you're very scared of the rematch, and you think you're going to just take a long time off and come back. The truth of the matter is, he was with you damn near his whole life, and that was damn near his whole life too long. Now he wasted. Now it's a lot of wasted potential and just someone with a lot of drive and grit. And I feel like if he has you in his corner next fight, shame on Dricus. He should find a new coach ASAP. But let me know what you guys think about this idiotic coach down below. That's it for me, and God bless. 2, 3, 4.